See with your son. The light says, okay. In the 40 years I've been working here, you just, I don't know if this is all, but people want to sweep up for you and stuff, and I never let them. Because they're not going to do it to my standard and stuff. So, but the other day I just had I don't know, a brainstorm or something. And I want to see how people do it. What's your dad like at housework? Washing that, loading the dishwasher, rubbish. Yeah. You seen him with a brush?
Not really.
No. I don't think you're gonna win. Because either you got this skill or you haven't.
I'm not sure I have.
And the first guy, Bruce, who did it, he was gobsmacking me. I thought, blimey, he does it better than Tom. But we're gonna.
Boy.
We'll see in a minute. We'll see. Okay, let's say so. So, mind you, if that's a job that I can be made redundant from, I'm not going to complain. You got to do it, man. It's before you do any work, brushing up is the meditation. Getting it right. Are you good at washing the car?
I'm good at washing the car.
You know how to wash the car.
One of my specialities. Yeah.
You start from the bottom upwards.
No.
You don't?
No,
go on then. Because you might be doing this wrong.
Wheels first.
Oh, yeah.
A separate bucket, and then you start from the top, because all the mud, the grit is on the bottom of the car.
Did I say that the wrong way around?
Yeah.
Did I say bottom up?
Yeah.
Instead of saying what it should have been.
Top down.
You do the bottom, yes, that's right.
You do the bottom last, because that's where all the grit is. Otherwise, you just transfer it
to
the rest of the car.
Yeah. You're correct. I don't know. You might score high. You might score high with brush. Okay. It is an imported brush, because I believe. You ever seen a brush like that in this country? You think you have, but you haven't. The Americans
I've been looking for them.
Have nailed it. Yeah. So when next in America, I might need another head. Even the screw thread's not the same. But, I've got enough not to run out. Okay. So basically, you're actually brushing yours and your son's hair.
Okay.
Marvelous. I might make everyone do this in future. Cool. Extra 50p, like your own hair swept down. Are you getting nervous at all?
No.
Yeah,
Should I be?
I would. Anything sort of competitive, but it's just the way you are, yeah? You're not nervous, you just get into it. And you were good football.
No, I did play football. I wasn't that good.
He is naturally good.
He's better, yeah. It's far better than I was.
And I ball them. Okay. Now, if you could come stand here. Okay. Can you see where all this hair is?
Yep.
Okay. Let me show you the brush. The front end of this brush is slightly longer.
I did notice.
It's good, and it's a wonderful tool. So I need that hair brushed in that corner.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Go.
It's time.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's looking good. He's looking. What do you think, Tom? Pretty good. It might be. Yeah. It might be too good. Yeah. Yeah. Finished. Yeah. You don't move the chair, but you can move the foot thing if you want to, if you think you need to. So you think he's finished? He's finished. Yeah. No.
I'm very much good enough.
Yeah. Perfection. Actually, from your good start, you finished. No, sorry.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to give you. I'll give him 7 because your son was watching, but it's only worth 6. Right, really. The Bruce has got 10 straight away. So, did you want a Murray mint or a sherbet lemon?
What's mine?
Do you want a Murray mint? Yeah,
What is it?
Good, Matt. Yeah. Okay. Should we give your dad a yellow card? You've seen these? They do use those as pretty people. You don't want to see that, do you? Sherbet lemon. They're not. Oh, thank you for that. When your hair gets too long and you need a haircut, if you leave it wetter when you sweep it back, that'll give you a bit more control. when your hair is more or less dry or towel dry, it's got more body in it. You know, that's another look. If you need more and more control, well, that's good. Fantastic. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
And yeah, remind me to, every time.
Send up to press
And
the
send button. I think that's twice. Didn't you? Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See you
Cheers.
later. Bye.
We're not funny around with tops. Always good. Number 6 on Leeward Line. Is that the number 2?
Yeah. 2, 3, 4.
I think, Robert, you got this a bit short.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
Size,
thin it
yeah.
to it. I was doing points, and I've just now decided I'm going to thin it to it instead.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's some haircuts where you don't need to be texturised as much as you are doing. Yeah. We're not only texture, there's other things too. Yeah. Are you reading this a novel?
No, it's history.
Like what?
17th century history.
Right. Yeah. How accurate is it?
Oh, it's very, very good, yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, top stuff.
How do you keep your? Is that your area, 17th century?
No, more 18th century, but stuff.
Okay.
I'm interested in 17th century.
Good.
It's just, personal interest.
Sum up the 17th century for us. What should, there's no.
No. Well, actually, they invented the flushing toilet in 1596,
But
but no one had them.
they'll never catch on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, no one had them.
Yeah.
17th century is the Civil War. Protestants and Catholics killing each other a lot. Witch trials.
Who were the pretty ones who had the big hats and the feathers?
Those they support the king.
Were they Catholics?
No, they weren't Catholics. No.
This is not another group away from
No, the Civil War is not Protestants against Catholics. The Civil War is supporters of the king against supporters of Parliament. Charles I.
Is this the same as becoming a republic or slightly different?
Yeah. So the Parliament won the Civil War in 1646.
When you say Parliament, what is the Parliament?
Well, it's literally Parliament. MPs.
But they're not like the assholes we got now.
They are. They're
It's
just the same.
worse.
They're just the same.
So what? They're just for themselves, really.
Yeah.
And what they can get for themselves.
Yeah.
And all they want from the poor man is the vote.
Well, yeah. But
Well, they didn't have the vote then.
Well, but they did. Well, the poor didn't have the vote, but
Ah.
actually, normal people had the vote. If you see what I mean, you didn't have to be rich. You just had to be like employed, basically, have a job, have some property, have something.
But if I had 2 or 3 pigs, could I have had a vote? Was
Yeah.
that like-
Oh, yeah. It depends where you live.
Could if you lived in the village, could you sort of like farm your pigs out to someone else and they get their vote?
Well,
It's only got 4
it's
pigs.
mainly if you live in a town, you have a vote probably. So someone like Devizes, right, would have pretty much all the men would have a vote. But in some little village, it's probably like the local squire.
Is it logical how this developed, or
It's all a bit random and piecemeal,
Yeah.
and it's all medieval. And then they change it all in the 19th century. So they changed the whole voting system. But people did vote, in the 1600s.
was it first past the post then? Most votes got you in.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it's like now.
And the monarchy was still kicking around like it is now.
Yeah, except the monarchy was in charge.
Ah,
So when you had Parliament, right?
Yeah.
Parliament didn't have Conservatives and Labour and Liberals and all that lot. It just had MPs. Just everyone was an independent MP. Right.
Yeah.
And whoever won the election, whatever the election result was, the king is still in charge, and the king's government is still in charge. And all Parliament does is for is to kind of vote on the government's plan. So the government will decide if we're going to have a war with Spain. We need £500,000 to pay for the fleet. And so they'll just go to Parliament and say, can we have £500,000 to pay for the fleet? Because Parliament has to say yes, because Parliament has to go back to the devices and places like that and actually raise the money. And so Parliament gets a say on that, but there's no political parties. So there's no. So it's not like this is like the Conservative government or whatever. Or the Labour
So the
government.
king really wants Parliament to do his bidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the king has to be kind of nice to Parliament so that he gets the money. He can't ignore what Parliament says.
Oh, he can't be a tyrant.
No, because he wouldn't get any money. And that's what Charles I did. He thought he could do without Parliament, maybe raise the money himself in different ways. And it didn't really work. And then Parliament got annoyed, and Parliament had the money, and it had to end in war basically because Charles wouldn't compromise. And then Parliament won the war eventually, and that's when they executed Charles I in 1649 and became a republic for 10 years.
Oh, right.
So there's no king between 1649 and 1660.
I mean, if you go to a republic, how do you get the king back?
Because Charles I had a son, who eventually became Charles II, and they made such a mess of the republic that they decided the state couldn't function without a king. Because basically the person who was in charge of the republic, Oliver Cromwell,
Yes.
was like a king anyway. Because that's just the way things. You had to have a boss. If there's no boss, it's just everyone. I mean, it may be very democratic, but it's just everyone that just argues.
You listening, Tom? Yeah. I got to be the boss in here.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to have a boss. And okay, Cromwell was fine. People quite liked Cromwell. Cromwell died in 1658.
He was doing all right.
He was doing okay. It's very difficult, but he was doing okay. And then he died, and his son took over, and the son was an idiot. Or just just very weak. They decided that, just like straightforwardly, they'd rather have Charles II back rather than Richard Cromwell.
They, you mean Parliament?
Yeah, more or less Parliament. And the army, it's the army, really. The army's making the decisions, by this point.
Robert, you've not mentioned the church. Do they have much?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You just.
Yeah, but the church doesn't really make any of the decisions. I mean, the church is
They are blackmailing when they can.
There's endless religious debates and discussions and all that kind of thing. And one of the reasons why they wanted a king back is because they would allow people to relax a bit more about religion, because they were in the Republic. They were very antagonistic about religion, very extreme.
You mean this is the church's influence?
And that's the period where they banned Christmas, for example.
Oh, we should do that again.
They banned Christmas, they banned dancing, they banned music, because they thought it was all sinful and all that kind of thing.
What, the church?
Well, yeah, the religious extremists.
What year was
in
this?
Parliament. During the 1650s.
How far away are we from this sort of stuff today?
Well, it all feels a little bit like, not the situation in this country, but in like the Taliban, for example, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that.
I've got a theory.
We're doing the length as well.
That's great, actually. Yeah. I don't really want too much taken off on top for obvious
It's about
reasons.
balance.
It's the sides and back that grow faster than what's on top, and
Where women are subjugated around the world in many places. Do you not think that is would the world be a better place if that didn't happen? Because they would be better people not doing that.
well, yeah.
Because we're still pretty far behind. Well, you mentioned places like that. Why do they do it?
Why?
They want them under control. They're just what's going on.
Yeah. Well,
You've got a wife.
I do.
And we've learned to do as we're told. We know it's the best possible thing, the best person to be running the family. Just think what a mess it would be if you were on your own, mother. What?
Yeah, all right.
The children would be unfed, and
Yeah.
there'd be piles of banana skins under their beds.
Yeah.
Mind you, the same.
Actually, my wife earns a lot more money than I do anyway, so.
Does she know that?
Does she know that she earns a lot more money than I do? Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Does she use that against you?
No. Not at all.
Some men can't handle that.
No.
But it's kind of like, you're in it together.
Yeah.
It's not your fault that you're not a judge.
Yeah. No, exactly.
You see, one of the wonderful perks of this job, you don't just have to do chit chat, you can learn stuff. Bloody well, Penguin Book's still going.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Isn't it good how the Kindle hasn't taken it?
Yeah, in fact, it's kind of faded away, really, isn't it?
I think it has, hasn't it?
It hasn't really.
Book is a wonderful thing. Otherwise, they're going to get rid of trees.
Yeah. I do have a Kindle, it's quite handy, but it's not.
Yeah, well, if you go on holiday.
Going on holiday, I mean, pretty much that's it. Yeah.
My wife listens to audio books on her phone.
Yeah.
And I suppose if she wanted to, it's just not quite big enough, is it?
Well, yeah, you can get a Kindle app on your phone, and that's free.
But it's still too small.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, some phones are a bit bigger. Anything bigger than that is probably about fine.
Yeah, turn it sideways. I always use my phone.
Yeah.
Portrait. I take all my pictures portrait. Just put it to landscape. Where are you going next?
Where am I going?
Were you going to go to the cake shop?
No, I was going to go home.
How many children are at home at the moment?
I've got 3 at the moment. Yeah.
And I reckon 2 children can eat 2 cakes.
Oh,
Don't you think? Otherwise, you're not a child.
yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you where we're going from. On Friday nights, I pick up from Middles. And it's totally random what doesn't sell from the bakery. So sometimes I might have loads of bread, sometimes I have cakes, and sometimes not donuts and stuff. So I've got cakes that I can't eat. I just had one earlier on. I'm sure children like it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Fantastic. I can't tell you how happy that was.
Yeah.
I'm under so much pressure. I've got 2 days to get rid of it. Oh. Actually, I think nearly every one of these cakes, if you put them in the oven, we've got Portuguese tarts.
Oh, yeah, I did.
That's the one to go for. The pecan.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, well, I think it's a custard swirl. But they actually, when they first opened their bakery, it was pants, and I thought, they've gone nuts, this company.
Yeah, it was bad, wasn't it?
But now,
No, it's fine.
oh, I'll tell you what, you've got. I think they're not making them. They can't get them. They do a ciabatta. Like, Tom, what's that kind of bread? What's that like? Cool.
Baguettes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, ciabatta baguettes. Oh, gorgeous. They're bog standard donuts are good.
Pretzels.
Oh, they're huge pretzels, yeah, with salt. God,
Yeah.
What country are they from?
Germany. They're German.
Are their pretzels as big as that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do they do
It's like
anything?
a bread. It's like a bread.
They're just small ones.
Yeah, but not pretzels aren't the little snacky things that you get.
The American ones.
Do they do any other flavours?
Not usually in Germany. I guess they do in America. America's the big one. Those type of things. Germany's are traditional.
I think they sometimes dust them with a little bit of bacon dust.
Yeah.
What you mean? They get a pig and put it on a grater.
And blend it.
Yeah.
Cook it so it's super crispy. And
There's some sort of chemical on the outside, like skin that bristles have. It's
Yeah,
dark brown.
Yeah, the shiny
Shininess. Yeah, it is literally some sort of chemical. I mean, you know.
Does it say?
Say it. Yeah.
Not one that you do a better haircut, but you've done Roberts tremendously. That's 10 out of 10. You little shit. So you do this just to make it look better.
Yeah, that's exactly why I do really good haircuts. It's all about you.
I just found one little bit, just the tail, just thin that tail. Made it very, very handsome.
Good.
Very handsome. And which electric car you got? You got Vauxhall?
No, it's a Nissan.
Oh, you got a Leaf.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's your Leaf but they're going to do the battery you can push back into the grid. You know, you got big. Well, normally you plug your car in and you take juice off the roof or the electricity. People who've got panels on their roof and excess electric, they're going to make some battery cars allow you to. When you've got too much electric, you can put it into the battery of the car, store it, and you can sort of bring it back. Yeah, that's battery in your car to get the road. Yeah, even more. Where's your car, Robert?
In the square.
You managed to get in there, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, not if it's Sunday. Oh, yes. You got a monkey squeezing.
No, it's the dog.
Oh, let's have a look then.
No, it's not. My daughter, every time she gets hold of my phone, she puts that on.
Oh, the same one.
It's really irritating.
Is that your dog?
Oh, yeah, it's not a very flattering picture, actually. Yeah,
It's for that kind of dog. It's not as if it's a Fazangi.
Yeah, true.
That's your family dog?
Yeah.
What is it?
He's kind of
He's a bit one
terrier, spaniel type of a mix.
Has he got a lot of terrier? Is he a monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he dig?
He sort of he's always kind of
He's
getting
trouble.
hold of stuff and running around, getting hold of hens and birds and all that kind of stuff and running around.
Have you still got hens?
No, because he was too much trouble with the hens.
How old is he?
3.
Amazing how dogs take over your life.
Yeah, we
Go where they want.
can't
Do
have
what you
hens when we
can't
have a
go.
dog, basically. It's really irritating.
Yeah, I think cats are easier. Now, with history, is it a changing animal? New things come out and there's always standard things.
Oh yeah, sure.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's more about interpretations than
Well,
facts, exactly.
Yeah. And in your interpretation, do you have a standard person you like to follow?
No, it's more complicated than that.
Oh yeah. Are you out? Do a daylight check. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Right, thanks.
Topic again. I do it more utilitarian. But that.
This is quite good. When you're in stream there, if you just leave it and do not yet, come straight back.
I think I found.
Yeah. But I think it's still filming. I'm not entirely sure.
Shouldn't there be a?
Yeah.
It is it? So what's that one about it?
Let's see what's going on. Don't do anything yet.
Okay.
That's still working.
Yeah. Right. So I could get that, but it's still live.